Okay, now back to the CSS and want to continue this class. So now we're going to be talking about selectors. Like I said before, selectors are ways to specify the particular HTML element you want to affect with a particular style rule in your HTML document or your HTML markup. So what selector does is that it selects a particular HTML element or a group of HTML elements and apply a certain style rule to them. So the selector is usually before the style rule, before the open brace. So let's go back to our little illustration here. I see the selector. The selector is usually before the open brace, which is this one, and this is the closing brace. And within our open and closing brace, we have our style rules, and the style rules are made up of property value pair. The property may be color, the property may be size, maybe font size, and so on. And there may be as much as 10, 100 style rules in a particular style declaration. So the combination of a style rule and its selector is called a style declaration. So now we're going to talk about the different kind of styles we could apply to our CSS. I'm going to delete this out. And basically, there are I think about 6-5 or so different kinds of selectors. So we'll start with the first one, which is called the universal selector. Basically, the universal selector are just HTML tags. They are made up of the letters used within an HTML element or an HTML tag. So we could say body is a universal selector. That means selects the body. P is a universal selector. Selects every paragraph or every P paragraph in our HTML markup. And we could say A for the list, for the anchor element. We could say LI for the list. We say UL for the ordered list, OL, and so on. So universal selector, from the name you could see that it's universal. That means it applies to every element that has a P paragraph or a list paragraph on ordered list. That means it selects every paragraph in our HTML. So let's go back over to our HTML and see how we can apply this particular selector in our HTML and CSS coding. Previously, from our definition, we could see the body is a universal selector because one, it's an HTML element and it contains virtually everything in the page. And due to the fact that we've explained before that CSS is cascading, that means a style from a parent element affects the styling on a child element. We could change the P here to body, and we're just going to increase the font size to 16. Tab. And we can see here, this is our body, and I'll scroll down to the page, and this is the closing body tag, and everything is located within the body. I'll give a color of red, font size 16 pixel. I'm going to save this, go back to our browser, and we're going to refresh. And you can see from it's not responding. Okay, now it's responding. You can see that from the style rule applied the Ccognate, the heading tag took the color from our body. They inherited the color from our body, and you see the heading tag here. This one heading tag, this another heading tag, and the P paragraph also inherited the color from the body, while the font size was inherited from, okay, basically by default the browser has a particular style for the heading tag, that's why they are still bold. But the paragraph inherited as the 16 pixel we used for the size of the page from the body. So I want to open Firebug, so I'll show you some things here. So if you don't have Firebug, I think you just want to go to Mozilla add-on, then download Firebug, install in your browser. You'll be able to follow up with what I'm about to show you. Now we just want to talk a little bit about inheritance and how it affects the page. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go down to, okay, now we see we have this first, we're going to select this first paragraph here. We see okay, not this one, see this one, okay, this one, and we see the heading H1 Ccognate. You see it beneath here, H1 Ccognate. If I mouse over it, see it selected above with that yellow and blue stripe there. And now we're going to go to the P. I'll click on the P. As I click on the P, you're going to look here, you're going to look to my right. Under the star, you're going to see the particular star that was applied to the P, and it's going to show you something pretty interesting. And it says P, color inherited from body, font size inherited from body. So basically, we applied the style to the body, and it was inherited across every P paragraph. So if we were to change the font size, in our body tag, it will affect every other element. So that's a little bit about inheritance. But let's move further. We're about to talk about we're talking about selectors. So tab. So I'm creating a particular P paragraph declaration using the universal selector of P. That means I'm saying what I'm telling the HTML or the browser that is about to pass this particular HTML is that look for every paragraph element and apply the star rules that I'm about to declare now to that particular element. So what we're going to give is going to give the font style italics and font weight bold. No, wait, and save. Okay, now basically we tell the browser that take this P tag, look for a P tag, look for paragraph across our page anywhere they may be. So universal selector says look for a particular HTML element anywhere they may be on the page and apply this particular star rules that we specified under this particular universal selector to that page. So we're going to apply this particular star rules to this universal selector on the page. We are using a P. So we go down the page, you see a P. So it's going to be applied to this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. So we're going to save, Ctrl X, go to our browser, and we're just going to refresh. And we see that wherever we located a P paragraph, they inherited that property of italics and bold from the P selector. And you can see that the paragraph here, this one here, intro to web, let's scroll up, this one, you could see it inherited that particular style. Let's go up. You want to scroll down again, there's another P paragraph, click on it, and let's scroll down to bring that up. Let me expand that out. So you can see it's also inherited the color of red and the font size. So initially the font size, italics and bold are the style we apply to the P paragraph using the universal selector of P. But the body color and the font size are inherited from the body element. So the color of this particular text and the font height are inherited from the body element. So let's take that out from our CSS and see what happens. I'm going to remove this to leave them vacant, delete. Save. And the moment I preview this, you see that now we've removed the body element. You can see to our right there's no longer an inherited CSS styling for this particular HTML element. And you can see that it's all black, but it still retains the previous one we applied to it using the universal selector. So basically, universal selector are, I could say, HTML element or HTML tags, open brace, close brace, tab, also style, rules. Okay, that's the universal selector. When we get back, we're talking about ID and class.